Okay. How you doing, people? Welcome to Monday night to the live stream. That was Lucky Seven from Filling in the Grooves. So I was kind of leaving off, from last week with playing through the play-alongs. So I opened with that this week, and that's another one of the play-alongs from the book. And I should play that one more often because I often forget the parts. But tonight I did okay. I remembered everything. I'm actually going to break that one down a little bit. We'll go through it. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for hanging with me tonight. Anybody that happens to be in the stream. Hopefully sound and video are good. I've been testing new gear and new apps and all kinds of things. And every time I do that and I switch on to different platforms, it's a little bit nerve-wracking when I switch back. I'm always afraid that I'm going to turn everything on and nothing's going to work. But I'm hoping that you're hearing me and that everything's okay. I'm going to check in with the chat just to make sure that if there is anybody here that they're saying, hey, it sounds good, I'm going to check it out right now. Let me put on my goggles and see what all is going on. Well, I do see a couple folks in here. So John Gill, what's up? Can you check your Facebook live stream? Not on Facebook again. Huh, what is going on with that? Hey. Well, actually, Ross is over on Facebook, so he's seeing it on Facebook. And Bob is seeing it on YouTube. And he said it's good on Twitch and YouTube. Vincent, you're funny. That's why you have a backup computer. Yeah. So Ross seems to be finding us on Facebook. So let's make sure that that indeed is the case. Oh, everything sounds great. Ross, all right, awesome. Thank you, man. So I guess we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, and we are on Twitch. There it is. We're on all of the prescribed platforms. Can I get a hurdy-dirty-do from everybody for that? Because when everything works, it has to make you happy. So that was a tune from the book, and I'm going to break it down a little bit. Let me just see who else is in here, just so I don't miss anybody. So good to see all you guys. Lucia, what's happening? Lucia's hanging out. I see Nico the Filmmaker's here. Nico the Filmmaker. Check out Nico the Filmmaker's page on YouTube. He makes these amazing animation films. So he's just a young lad making animation films. He's also a drum student of mine, and he's a fine young lad. So welcome. And my mom is here. So I want everybody to say hi to my mom. But she said I can't find you on Facebook as well. So I'm not really sure what's going on with Facebook, although there are some folks from Facebook in here. So Mike is on Facebook. Ross is on Facebook. So there it is. Is it on the Filling in the Grooves page, or is it on the Jim Toscano page, or is it on both? Let me know. And if you have any questions about the tune when we get into that, let me know. Audio and video is great on YouTube. Didn't get a notice from Facebook that you were on. Got it. Okay, so the Facebook notifications maybe didn't happen. We will definitely look into that. Okay, I'll check back in with the chat shortly. By the way, before I do that, make sure you check out my blog on my website. So jimtoscano.com/blog. You go to the blog, and for those of you who are into online lessons and live streaming and stuff, I did a thing on lighting, just the importance of having some decent lighting. And I'm not a lighting expert, but I definitely try to keep things lit up really well, keep it from looking dark, keep it from looking shadowy. I've added some color RGB floods in here so you can see a little tinge of color. But if I switch cameras and I go around to the front, here's I think my front cam. Let's see. Oh, I'm changing up in the picture-in-picture. There's my front cam going by on the track. Here is my desk cam looking back at me, and side cam, and here's the overhead cam. So I'm trying to keep a nice fresh look happening with all this good stuff. So I wrote a little blog about that. So check it out. There's some links there to some of the lighting products that I'm using. Okay, so before I go down a rabbit hole of lighting and all that stuff, let me really quickly, I want to show you. So over here on my this one, you can see I have a little image of the blog over on the left-hand side of the screen, as well as the book, Filling in the Grooves. So do check out the blog. It's super fun. And right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split screen and show you guys the chart for that last tune. And I'm going to go through some of the parts for this here tune. And I wonder if I can make this a single page for you guys. If I zoom in a bit, I think I can do that. Maybe. I blew it. Oh, I signed out of my own book. Holy moly, this is what I get for trying to do this stuff across the room. Let me go back to the book. And leave it to me to do this all the time. All right, here we go. So we're going to click read. Then the book comes up again. And then basically we're going to have to scroll to that page one more time, I do believe. All right, we'll let that load. And in the meantime, I'll just start breaking down some parts while we wait for that to load, because that could take a second. Oh, there it goes. Oh, and it went right back to the same place. So there it is. I wonder if I could just click on it and make it zoom. I think I can. Oh, yeah, there we go. Hey, look at that. Okay, cool. All right, let's get into some drumming. So what I'm going to do for the moment is I'll leave that little overhead cam. I know it's not in the picture great because I'm split screening, but all right, maybe I'll take that one off. All right, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to go from this overhead view. So I'm going to just show you first the opening groove before I talk about what is going on with this. And Johnny Young from Giant Flying Turtles, the esteemed piano player, singer of Giant Flying Turtles, he and I wrote this tune together. And then we wrote it from a drum part, and I gave him this drum part, and he constructed the keyboard part over it. So what I'm basically playing is 1 and 2 and 3 and, right? And then, so this is all just completely linear. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Okay? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. 1 and 2 and 3. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. That's kind of the feel of it. So those are your groups of 2, and then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And actually, when we recorded this, and it's actually in the chart, I did this every other time. So that's the first theme. And when I performed it just for you before, I actually played, because there's a little descending line that goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I split it up like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I was going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And if we actually use that written part, then we would get this. So that's the part. It's a really fun little part. It's very musical, I think. Not to toot my own horn, but I think it's a kind of a musical drum part that, we're on camera, that, you know, I could have played, you know, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, something like that, something straighter. But I thought this really lent itself to this tom melody. And actually, like I said before, I wrote it from the tom melody up. So then Johnny actually wrote his parts to fit that. Okay, so that's that first part. And so that's the 9 part, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is those two rhythms together. And when you add the 9/8 plus the when you add the 9/16 plus the 9/16, you get the 9/8. Okay, so then we go to a 7/8 part, and we're playing this Swiss Army triplet plus just some 16th notes. So we're going 1 E and then a Swiss Army triplet, and it's actually a split Swiss Army. The way I played it. You don't have to play it that way, but it works. One and two and 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 1. So that's the second theme. And then, and all I do with that is at the top I play that sort of open thing with the toms and the flams, and then I bring in the ride cymbal to kind of open it up a little bit. So we start here. Right? And then we have this 5/8 bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 end, which is a little descending line to bring us into the groove. And I just do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 end. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 end. Or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1. Okay? And then we go into sort of a funky 7/8 groove after that. And then also at the very top, there is a bar of 9/8. So I was just addressing the themes. We do this little opening. 1, 2, 1, 2. It's actually 6/8 notes up front, and then 1 and 2 and 3 n. So we go sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's just ba 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 da 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 da. And I just put a bass drum in between each one of those hits. 1, 2. Right? So 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Okay. So that's our little 9 thing. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we go into that part. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and 2 and 3. Da 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 da. Okay. So that's the opening. So we go through the 2 themes that I just outlined before. Then we have our little 5/8 descending line. And we're into the 7/8 groove at the bottom of that page, which is a 2-bar groove that kind of flips. So I'll show you what I mean. So we're playing, instead of playing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, which feels short, feels like small, that groove. So I flipped it and made it a 2-bar groove. So we have, without the ghost notes, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're starting on the second bar with the snare on the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Then with all the little ghost notes, we get this. Right, so I didn't write all the ghosting in on the tune. I do a little bit more than that. But here would be the groove. And, you know, my goal is always to make things feel good. If it doesn't feel good, what's the point? Right, Vincent? So it's all about the feel. And so, you know, it doesn't matter if a song is in 9 or 5 or 13 or 4. It's got to feel great. So if you're going to play something in 7, don't do it for the point of playing in 7. Play it because you feel something. And hopefully that comes across in what you play, right? So, all right, so that's that groove. And I really like that groove a lot. And, you know, when the tune comes back around, it goes through the whole form, you know, except for that intro part. But it goes back through this little form here with this. So after we play through that little funk groove, it goes back to... right, so when we go to that part, we're setting it up again to go back into the little funky, you know, linear groove. So we're getting this. Right, that whole part. Okay, cool. So that's where we're at. And I guess what I'm going to do, if I can do it, is move this page over and then show you kind of what happens next in the tune. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to check the chat real quick and see if there's any questions about any of that stuff. Hopefully you're enjoying what the topic that I'm breaking down tonight, which it's kind of a, I wrote this in my description, it's kind of using fills from the book, using material from the book, talking about part construction, or what I do for recording tunes, and the way I come up with things. And I have to say, you really, when you come up with drum parts, it's about intention. And when I play things, I try not to throw anything away. I try to come up with something that I mean to play, that's purposeful, and that I play with great intention so that it feels really good and that it comes across as if I meant to do that. Even if it's an accident, happy accidents happen, but you still need to attack with intention, that you want to bring something forward that means something to the song. So that's kind of what tonight is about. I'm going to use another tune after this, and you know, I'll talk about, I actually want to talk about the session that I did for Vincent recently, which eventually will debut on somewhere, I'm sure. He'll be talking about it. But, you know, kind of just how things get put together. You know, I should do one of those studio nights again where I bring in a tune that I'm actually doing for somebody and we make up the parts together. That was super fun. I think I did that twice with you guys where I put the tune on that I hadn't yet done the drum parts for yet, and we were making them up on the spot. That was super fun. And it was great getting you guys input on that. All right, let me go back to the chat real quick, and gonna just check in live scene plus chat. I'm still in OBS. I was trying this thing called Ecamm Live tonight, and earlier, and something went wrong with it, and I'm right back here at good old OBS. All right, let's see what we got happening. Love playing in 7. 9 is new for me. Patrick Ross, what's up, Pat? I really don't have good news about the Alfred fix, but I will tell everybody right now that I contacted Hudson tonight about a particular fix, which is actually this track. They have the wrong file up, and we're fixing it. There's 2 sax solos happening simultaneously on the track that's posted on Hudson right now, which makes me believe that it's probably wrong on the Alfred site, because there was an oversight with the engineer originally on that tune. Vincent LaRussa engineered it again and fixed that, and then we sent the new file out, and it hasn't been changed, so we're going to fix it. I promise you we'll fix it, and we'll find out why the bonus tracks are not over, the extras tracks are not over on the Alfred site. We're going to get that fixed for everybody, I promise. Okay, so, yes. So playing in 7, playing in 9, super, super fun. Yeah, the In the Studio session was cool, right? I have some other musicians that I'm planning on bringing in soon. Thanks, John. Yeah, I enjoy that groove a lot. And listen, playing in 7, playing in 9, it's only a 2-beat difference, right? Listen, here's the other thing. Playing in 9 is playing in 3, right? You know, it really comes down to, what do you say, sax and violin. You know, it really comes down to how you subdivide things, right? So, oh, thanks, man. Yeah, this is, this snare drum, I had this one custom done when I did this kit originally. This is a Tama Star Classic Maple with the reinforcement hoops on the inside and all the nickel hardware. This is a beautiful snare. I love this drum. Really love this one. But yeah, it comes down to how you subdivide things, right? So like Pat, like playing in 7 or playing in 9, how you subdivide that really dictates how it's going to feel, right? So our 9 feel was 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. And then our 7 was 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. So it all comes down to the subdivisions of this stuff, right? Let me just quickly, let me see something here. I'm going to pull up the chat window just to make sure I'm getting to the bottom of it. Because sometimes I don't see. Actually, what happens every week is when I go off, I see a bunch of comments that I didn't catch in the chat. So apologies ahead of time for that. All right. So let me just go back to the tune for a minute. I just want to break down a couple more little things with this one. And here's a monitor split screen again. Let's see if we can get this one kind of centered better. I think that's the best I'm going to get at the moment, unfortunately. Let me see. Yeah. I can move it over a little bit, right? Oh, wait, I can move the whole window over. What am I saying? Let me see if I can do that better for you guys. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. So here's the rest of that tune. I mean, basically, it's the same stuff. Oh, I was going to talk about the solo section. So just to change the vibe on the solo section, and I didn't do this on the recording. I just played on the recording during the sax solo. I played the groove. But this time I tried to open it up a little bit, so I played more of a direct, I'll say, you know, short 7. 1, 2, 3. That kind of thing. And then towards the end of it, that kind of thing. So you could see how, like, as the sax gets more busy, I could get a little more busy. So that kind of thing, and just to open it up. And then the tune goes back into the, after that whole section, it goes back to the for the keyboard solo, keyboard sample guitar thing. Right, so that whole part. So we have that whole thing. So it's super fun to play. I can't get enough of it. And then so after that, it goes. There's a DSL coda, so it's going to go back to the. Reminds me of like a surdo part, right, for samba, but it's in 7/8 time. Now, at the end of this thing, I just kind of filled out the accents with rolls. So it's like. And then on the chart. So that whole thing. Now, I did. But however you want to attack that ending, you could do the rolls in between. Those are the little double bass. Ba, ba, ba. That's it. So that's it. I mean, that's the tune. It's a super fun play along. Definitely different than some of the other ones, some of the other more groove, songwriter-oriented kind of stuff. So I wanted something that was a little more progressive for the book. And so that is the one I chose. Now, keeping on that progressive thing, what I was going to do is start breaking down another thing that Johnny and I wrote. So we could stay on the progressive thing. There was only like 3 tunes left from the play-alongs. And this is one that's supposed to be a bonus track eventually. And it's called Ghidorah. And I think I'm going to play a little bit of it and talk about it. And this is one of those things, I used to use this for like clinic stuff. And I didn't play it for a long time. And there is a chart. Right now I just have a lead sheet, so I'm going to write a chart for this thing. But it's kind of a fun thing, and I can break down some grooves that I'm using in it. So I'm going to go through this a little bit. So I'm going to pull up Ghidorah. And while I do that, I'm just going to put the chat window back for a minute. So I can grab that. But let's see, live scene with chat right there. And so this is Ghidorah. Now this tune, man, we wrote this a long time ago. And Nico the filmmaker made a film about Ghidorah, I think. Right? Isn't that true? So I'm just going to play a little piece, and then I'll stop it and talk about it. right, so I'm going to stop it there and kind of break down some things. I forgot that transition. Oi, oi. So that tune starts out with this sort of Montuno thing at the beginning. So basically, we're playing. We have that whole thing in the beginning, which on the recording, I'm playing like different rates of rolls leading into it. I couldn't really exactly remember what that was, but we stop. We have that little line, and then it comes in with this groove. So basically playing that and trying to make the hits once in a while. Near the end, I actually hit more of the hits. It gets a little more aggressive. That little... All right, so that's that groove. And then... at the end of that one, I go into this sort of open-handed thing. So we go into... right, so there's that whole thing. And then it goes into this little line, da ba da ba da ba da ba da da, right? Da ba da 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 da, and then into like sort of a straight. By the way, that's in 7, but I'm playing straight across it. And then I did that little, I go to like a halftime. So, into 6/8. So, it's super fun. It makes you work on changing feels, changing times. And I apologize for like kind of doing it stop and go, but it's kind of cool. I'll set up the little parts. So that's this thing. So yeah, I'm remembering this by the seat of my pants. So right there, that whole 6 section, we played through a couple feels in that 6/8, and it's got some little odd time turnarounds. which I'll talk about, and then we'll get into what happens in this whole samba and the way out. But so basically, what's happening with that 6/8 is we go into the like a straight, in that first part of it. Da, 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 da. And then it goes into this, and I kind of missed the transition, but. Goes into like a batucada there, and which is super fun. So that's kind of those fun transitions, and it's a cool tune. Again, I wrote this tune from the drum set and gave it to Johnny and said, write something on top of this. So I literally sent him a drum track that was all these little parts, and then worked out all the transitions and put this thing together. And we write really well together, I think. I mean, I think the tunes are really fun. They're definitely, sort of like puzzles, and, just makes it interesting. So I'm just checking in with the chat because I just want to see. No, it's not a leady snare. It's a Tama Star Classic, man. You know that. But, the nickel hardware makes it pretty. Yeah, it does make it look like a leady snare, yeah. I really like this drum a lot. It's a G1 with the little leather hinky-doo Vincent gave me as a gift. And on the bottom is a Hazy 300. I don't tune it that high. So I really love this drum. I will tell you that when I do sessions, oftentimes I'll bring several drums, and engineers and producers most of the time will go, yeah, let's use that one. So anyway, so we're in the whole 6 thing, and so the two feels that I'll use in that kind of thing, again, is sort of that implied 3. Right, this hi-hat part. Or sort of leaning towards a fusion-y Afro-Cuban 6, that kind of thing. Okay, cool. So let me just see what we got happening. Playing odd times, or thinking about the meter, or singing in your mind, the bass line. When playing odd times, are you thinking about the meter? Oh, so I'm singing. I sing. I hum. If you listen carefully when I record, well, no, you wouldn't hear it. But I've been told if people listen carefully to my overhead, you can hear me humming. But yeah, like in all this odd time stuff, usually I'm not counting. I'm singing parts, and I think it grooves much better when you know the music enough that you sing the parts. Because really, when you sing either chord structure or a melody or a bass line, because you're going to connect to the music that much closer, right? If you're off trying to count this stuff, it's definitely going to it's not going to feel great. It's going to feel mathematical rather than feeling like a groove, right? So, yeah. Just ask Vinny, right? He had to play Keep It Greasy, stuff like that. There's some very cool transcriptions of that stuff. And I checked it against Ryan Brown's transcriptions, and it looks good. So maybe we'll talk about that one night. Yeah, man. Yeah, Terry Bozzio, man, he's a master at that stuff. And again, you know, singing melodies is really what helps. That's why, like, when I demonstrated the grooves, I was kind of singing all that, you know, all those parts, right? So anyway, just to get more intimate with the song, you really do have to do that. So now we go into this little batucada kind of feel. It's a little tough with that. Oh yeah, so there are two different parts that I'll play over those two things. I'm just going to show you that real quick. So here, and that's my buddy Tom Christensen playing tenor sax. Alright, here we go. So, you know, I start out that section with that. So, this. So that's kind of the feel that I'm playing over that thing. And I might, you know, so that's kind of the feel for that section. And then when the sax comes in and plays that melody, I switch to the bell and I kind of play, it's kind of funny, like it's almost, the way it's structured almost feels like a Mozambique over it, but that, not a Mozambique. I thought I was playing more of like a, but no, I'm playing one. Kind of like the groove from the beginning of the tune, but double time. So that's the bell pattern. It's like cascara, right? And then this end is kind of filling in. So then it goes into there's actually a solo coming up. And Yeah, so some of those ideas, I don't know what I was just playing, but but so you know, trying to make some of the hits. Right, so I'll try to make the hits a little bit, and then fill in between with some fun stuff. Right out of the gate, I was like, you know, with the double bass. But and then actually on the recording, at the end of that thing, I play I play a double bass thing over it, and then I go to the dotted eighth pulse. So I go into it like this, da 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 da. da So see how I made it kind of an auditory illusion, sort of, right? We like as if we're changing the tempo. So that part coming up was kind of like this. So, dun, dun, dun. I'll play it slow. And then right? So it gives it that illusion of that I changed the tempo in a way. But we're just going from the rate of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 E, a 2 E, and a E, and a 4 E, and a 1 E, and a 2 E, and a 3 E, and a 4. And just like for 2 bars. So 1, da, 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 da. Right there, ba-da-da, I come out with it, and it's sort of fun. And then it goes into a whole nother part where it goes into a songo. But so the solo, by the way, when I finally get you guys this chart and get the song up as a bonus, the solo is fair game. You can do whatever you want. I'm just giving you some ideas, some things that I like to play. But then when it goes into the songo after that, I play this. Bop, bop, oh no, I don't do the double bass one. So it's bop, 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 so it's just very short. Bop, let me see. Oh yeah. Yeah, I kind of hacked that up. Sorry about that. So we're coming out of that, you know, the end of the solo. Into bop, 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 and then it goes into, oh yeah, the top of the tune, right? So we go back to, sorry, we're coming out of the song, go da, 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 right into that, and then from there, it just goes back to the to one more feel, and then it's out. So there's a lot happening in this tune. You know, it's super fun. I know I'm throwing a lot in because I'm watching the time and I'm trying to get everything in at the end of the tune. But maybe I'll play this whole thing at the top of the next stream, and do a little bit of shedding on it because I haven't played it all the way through in a while. And that way the transitions will be clean. But it's super fun. So think about all the grooves that you have in this thing, and the chances for filling are great, right? There's lots of good transition places for fills to happen. But of course, with intention, right? Don't throw anything away. Try to make it all mean something. So the groove from the top. Into that one, into the like a Tom Sawyer almost, into 6/8, into 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 right into a drum solo, and then after the drum solo we go into the little songo. Bop. Into back to the top. Into and it ends with that groove actually. So like it's a lot of material jam-packed into one tune, but super super fun. And it's genre changing, genre bending, we like to say in a way. And that's kind of like the band Giant Flying Turtles. What we're all about live is genre bending. So it kind of Johnny and I kind of have our heads in that direction of like, how many, influences do we have? Let's throw everything into a cornucopia of fun. So anyway, so that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know it's super fun. I'm glad you checked it out. And let's see. So she's dancing and hugging the computer. That's so cute. I love it. So hopefully Lena enjoyed the live stream tonight. So this is something, obviously the material for another day for you guys, because I have to, obviously, right now I just have a lead sheet for this, a saxophone lead sheet. So I really need to rechart the drums. I did have a chart, because I used to hand it out at clinics, and I had something called the grooves from Ghidorah, and it was like all the grooves. And I think it was on a hard drive that went kaplooey, and I don't have it anymore. And I will do that for you guys and get that into a future stream for you. But I'll play it on the next one, top to bottom, just like as an opening tune. Not to break it down, just to play it. So you get to hear it in its entirety, making sense, instead of this stop-and-go business. I do want to thank everybody for hanging with me at my drum hang this week, because it makes me feel so happy. I didn't get to talk about Vincent's tune and about intention, but maybe once his tune comes out, he'll let me do it as a like a behind the tracks kind of thing, because I think it's got a lot of fun material in it. And look for Vincent LaRussa's EP to be coming out pretty soon. You can follow Vincent LaRussa on Facebook to check all that stuff out. I will tell Cooper that you said hello. Cooper loves all of you, as do I. So, Mom, thank you for coming, Mom. I appreciate it. It's always nice when my mom pops in. And don't forget that for my mailing list, if you sign up, there are PDF gifts that you get for signing up. If you're already on the mailing list, then you get stuff in emails from time to time. Not tonight, because I was kind of, working out of the book tonight, or at the end, not working out of the book. But I also have my virtual tip jar up, so if you feel so inclined, there's that. And follow my blog because I'm talking about technology and trying to post things in my blog that could be helpful, as well as putting links of some of the things that I use because people are always asking me, like, what's that light? What is that microphone you use? So, and thanks for hanging with me just in general. I really appreciate it. And it means so much. And I'll see you guys on the next one. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night. And I'll see you next time. I'll see you Thursday at the Hand Technique Workshop. Thursday night, Hand Technique Workshop, 7 p.m. right back here, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Talk to you later. Have a great night.